Did General Patton really say, "We fought the wrong enemy"? It is highly likely that you have encountered or heard from others this famous quotation attributed to the American General George Patton, often cited as evidence that, at the end of the Second World War, he regretted having fought against Nazi Germany rather than the Soviet Union. The phrase is typically presented as a blunt, almost prophetic statement that fits with Patton's image as a fiercely anti-communist military man. However, no primary historical evidence confirms that Patton ever uttered or wrote those exact words. Leading scholarly biographies and documentary compilations, such as Carlo D'Este's Patton, A Genius for War, and Martin Blumensen's The Patton Papers, which draw together his diaries, letters, and recorded statements, contain neither this precise formulation nor any direct equivalent. What is widely documented is Patton's deep anti-communism, a stance that did not arise at the end of the war but had been with him for much longer. His private letters and diaries, especially those written in 1945, reveal not only his hostility toward the Soviet Union, but also a deeply racialized worldview. Patton frequently described Russians in dehumanizing terms, referring to them as Mongols, and believed that a future war between the West and the Soviet bloc was inevitable. In this context, he expressed sympathy for the defeated Germans, whom he saw as part of a broader Anglo-Saxon community, and even suggested that certain decent Germans might be rearmed to counter the Soviet threat. It is this cluster of ideas that explains the origin of the myth surrounding the famous phrase, a myth that gained considerable traction after the release of his biographical film in 1970. A film in which, during a phone call with General Bedell Smith, Patton mentions that they had been fighting the wrong people.
The war shouldn't be over, and we should stop pussyfooting about the goddamn Russians. We're gonna have to fight them sooner or later anyway. Why not do it now when we got the army here to do it with? Instead of disarming these German troops, we ought to get them to help us fight the damn Bolsheviks. But damn if it is, I'll tell you something, Beetle. Up until now, we've been fighting the wrong people.
With the rise of the internet, this simplified version of his ideas has spread widely on forums and social networks such as Reddit, Quora, X, and Facebook. There, his supposed quote is often used to fuel revisionist interpretations, to justify hypothetical alliances between the United States and Nazi Germany, or to present Patton as a visionary who anticipated the Cold War. In short, Patton was openly critical of the USSR and believed that a future confrontation with the Soviets was likely, even desirable. However, he never literally uttered or wrote the exact phrase attributed to him today. The quotation is nothing more than a later paraphrase, an extreme simplification of his actual thinking that has evolved into a kind of slogan.